Truth in a world of confusion. We live in a world full of information. You can hear thousands of opinions about God, about life, about truth. But here's the problem. More information hasn't made people more certain. It's made people more confused. And that confusion doesn't just stay in your mind. It shows up in your heart. Questions like, can I really trust God? Am I truly safe with Him? What if I've misunderstood something important? Those are not just thinking questions, they're heart questions. And at the center of all of them is one issue. What is actually true? What truth is? Most people think truth is just facts, right answers, correct beliefs, good theology. But the Bible shows us something deeper. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. That means truth is not just something you learn. Truth is a person. Truth is reality as it really is, especially about who God is, how He works, and how He relates to you. And this matters more than we realize, because if we misunderstand God, we will struggle to trust Him. The real battle. From the very beginning of the Bible, we see a pattern. In the Garden of Eden, the serpent didn't force Eve to sin. He planted a lie. He suggested, maybe God isn't fully good. Maybe God is holding something back. Maybe God can't be trusted. And that changed everything. Eve's behavior didn't change first. Her belief changed first. And that's still how the enemy works today. Not through force, through deception. Why truth matters. So what happens if truth is removed? Without truth, you can't trust. Without trust, you can't have love. Without love, relationships break down. And even bigger than that, without truth, there is no justice, no fairness, no accountability. Eventually, the only way to control things is through power. And power without truth leads to control, fear, and oppression. So truth is not just a nice idea. Truth is the foundation of life. The real problem. Here's where this becomes personal. Most of our struggles come from believing something untrue about God, and those beliefs are often quiet. They sound like, God is disappointed in me. I'm not enough. I have to earn His love. I'm not really safe with Him. You may never say those out loud, but they shape how you feel. And over time they produce fear, shame, distance, uncertainty. Why good people get it wrong. Now here's something important. Most people who believe wrong things are not trying to be wrong. They're sincere. But sincerity doesn't equal truth. You can deeply believe something and still be mistaken. That's why people can love God, go to church, read their Bible, and still feel afraid, still feel unsettled, still feel unsure. Because what they believe about God may not fully match reality. Faith isn't enough by itself. We often say faith is good, and it is, but only if it's placed in truth. Because faith in something untrue still leads to confusion. If you believe God is harsh, you will fear Him. If you believe you have to earn His approval, you will strive. If you believe your standing is uncertain, you will live with anxiety. Even though you have faith, it won't produce peace, because it's built on something distorted. What truth is doing. So what is truth actually doing? Truth is not just something to agree with. Truth is restoring something inside you. When truth comes in, you begin to see God more clearly. And when you see Him clearly, you begin to trust Him. And when trust grows, fear starts to fade. And when fear fades, your relationship with God changes. That's what truth does. It restores clarity, trust, peace, relationship. How change actually happens. Let's make this simple. Something happens in your life. You form a belief about it. That belief shapes how you feel, and those feelings shape how you live. If the belief is wrong, everything that follows is affected. But when truth enters, the belief changes. And when the belief changes, the emotions begin to change, and your response begins to change. That's what the Bible means when it says, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Transformation is not forced. It happens when you begin to see clearly. Scripture plus Jesus. This is where Scripture becomes so important. Scripture helps you recognize truth. It confirms what is real, and it keeps you grounded when your feelings shift. But ultimately, if you want to know what is true about God, you look at Jesus. How he treated people, how he responded to brokenness, how he showed compassion, and especially the cross. The cross shows us something very clear. God is not against you. God is not controlling. God is not distant. God is loving, self-giving, and completely trustworthy. The objective, slow, personal. So here's the real question. Not, what should I do? Not, how do I fix myself? But this, what am I believing right now? And is it true? That's where everything begins. The next time you feel fear, or shame, or distance from God, pause and ask, what am I believing right now? Does that match who God really is? What would be true instead? Because you are not changed by trying harder. You are changed when truth replaces the lie you believe. Truth is not just something to understand. It is the reality of who God is. And when you begin to believe what is actually true about him, everything in your life begins to change.